Welcome to Reader's Retreat. I'm Paul, and this is part two of the 115 books I want to read in 2023. Let's start with the mass market paperbacks. It's a series. It's the Elemental Assassin series by Jennifer Estep. This one here, Spider's Bite. That is the first book, by the way. Then the rest of them's all mixed up. This one here is Venom. Yes, it's another series. It's another urban fantasy. By a Thread. Tangled Threads. She is assassin from what I get, and I think her code name's Spider or something like that. This is Widow's Web. This one here is Spider's Revenge. Now, I've never read none of these, but my sister has, and she liked it. Web of Lies. So, she reads them. She read them on ebook, and everybody knows I don't do ebooks. So I had to go out and get these, find these. This here is a different one. This is by Diana Rowland, and this is Secrets of the Demon. This one's Kelly Gay, The Better Part of Darkness. Now, I will say this is the first book, but I made a mistake because I didn't think I had this one, and I wanted to read some of her writing so I know if I want the series. And I read the second book. The next day, I found this on my shelf. So, I need to get that read. Try to figure out which description I want. This is something new for me trying to get into. Historical romance. And this is by Susan Crenard to Tame a Wolf. It's urban fantasy. This is by Rebecca York, The Witch and Moon. And this is a romantic suspense. And it sounds like an urban fantasy. These, both of the last two books I showed you is about werewolves, mainly. Laura Lee. Crossbred. Novel of the Breeds. And another werewolf one. I'm hoping I get to enjoy some of these werewolves ones. Rebecca York, New Moon. Susan Canyard, To Catch a Wolf. And Black Dust Mambo by Adrian Phoenix. Now, last one, I did have a second book on the list that I'm going to read. But the thing is, I do have the first book to that Preston Child's book. And I'll probably read the first book first and then read the second. So this should have about 116. But we'll see if I get to even get to those books. And this is F. Paul Wilson. This is a Repairman Jack novel by the Sword. This is Carol Berg, Ash and Silver. I got two more piles besides these two to go through. Micah Johnson, The Space Between Worlds. And part one to this, I did live, so you still can go watch it if you missed it. This here is 3 complete novels by John Saul. You got The Brainchild, Nathaniel, and The God Project. So what I'll probably do is just go by each name and then mark it where I left off, and then read the book. But I bet all 3 of them counts for next year. I do want to get that book finished by the end of next year. Adrian Tchaikovsky, Shards of Earth. This here just looks good. Then we have Dean Koontz, The City. We have Daniel Abrams, Age of Ash. We have Kathy Reichs, Bones Never Lie. Tammy Hogg, A Thin Dark Line. Yes, a lot of mine books I'm going to be reading is older than, but I do have a few new ones in here. This is The Drafter by Kim Harrison. And I really need to get this one read. It's been on my shelf for a few years. Shakespeare Undead. And then this is Neuroscope by Brian Lumley, The Lost Years. So, I know this is not the first book of this, but it's the only book I have. Okay, that is part 2 of the books I want to read. I decided to just do them in parts, so you get another part with the books that I never finished. Now, the books I never finished this year will be on for next year, but it is not counted into the 115 books. So, part 3 will be the 2 piles plus the parts that I ain't got to. And I will be coming out with a weekly wrap up today. So you all have a good one, or monthly wrap up, I should say. So you all have a good one, and I'll talk to you all later. Keep reading, ladies and gentlemen.